Have you ever stopped to notice how wildly different people are when it comes to their birthdays? On one side, you have the full-on celebrators. Massive parties, balloon arches, surprise cakes with way too many candles, Instagram stories every 5 minutes, group photos, tagged friends, the whole production. Then there's the other side, quiet, almost invisible. No party, no cake, no special dinner. No, it's my day posts. Just another Wednesday. 24 ordinary hours that happen to include one extra trip around the sun. So, the big question is, why? Why do some people treat their birthday like it's nothing special? Is it hidden sadness? A sign of emotional maturity? Or is there something much deeper going on psychologically? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to read might actually explain your own feelings or lack of feelings about birthdays. For a surprising number of people, the reason is painfully simple. They don't celebrate because they've stopped expecting to feel celebrated. Picture this. You're a kid, maybe 8 or 10 years old. Your birthday is circled in bright marker on the calendar. You daydream about the balloons, the laughter, the moment everyone sings off-key while you blow out the candles. But the day arrives. Crickets. Friends forgot. Family was too busy with work, bills, or their own drama. Maybe one year you even mustered the courage to invite people over. You decorated. You waited. Heart-raising, and almost no one showed up. The pizza got cold. The balloons slowly deflated. The silence was louder than any party could ever be. Those moments don't just pass. They stack. Year after year, the brain does what it is wired to do. It adapts to protect you. Psychologists call this learned helplessness, a term pioneered by Martin. When repeated disappointment teaches you that hoping for good things only leads to pain, the safest response is to stop hoping altogether. Caring hurts, expecting hurts. So eventually you train yourself not to care. The birthday becomes just another date on the calendar, not because you're cold or ungrateful, but because letting yourself care feels far too dangerous. That's not indifference. That's emotional scar tissue. Then there's a completely different group. People who aren't wounded by past birthdays day, simply drowning in the speed of modern life. Work never stops. Deadlines stack like Jenga blocks. Kids need to be picked up. Dinner needs to be cooked. Emails keep pinging at 10 p.m. There's a group project due tomorrow. The car needs an oil change. And somewhere in there you're supposed to remember to breathe. Your birthday rolls around. You see the date on your phone. You think, oh right, it's today. And then bam, the next notification hits, and the day disappears in a blur of tasks. Psychologists sometimes call this phenomenon time blindness or present overload. When your brain is running at maximum capacity every waking hour, it loses the bandwidth to tag certain days as special. Birthdays, anniversaries, even holidays can get quietly erased, not out of malice or neglect, but simply because there's no mental shelf space left. The day isn't being ignored on purpose. It's being squeezed out by everything else that's screaming for attention. These people don't hate birthdays. Life just doesn't leave room for them anymore. And finally, there's a third group that fascinates me the most. These are the people who know it's their birthday and genuinely don't feel the urge to mark it. This isn't coming from pain. It isn't coming from being too busy. It's coming from a quiet, hard-earned place of emotional independence. Research in psychology, particularly self-determination theory developed by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, shows that real, lasting well-being comes from 3 core nutrients. Autonomy, feeling in control of your choices. Competence, feeling capable. And relatedness, feeling genuinely connected to others. When those needs are met internally, your motivation becomes intrinsic. You don't need fireworks, applause, or 87 HBD comments to feel valuable. People in this group have usually built that internal foundation. Their sense of worth isn't tied to external markers, gifts, parties, public displays of affection, or how many people remember the exact date. They've learned, often through years of self-therapy, personal growth, or simply living long enough, that they already know they matter. Candles and cake are nice. Sure, but unnecessary. The calendar doesn't get to decide their value. They've already decided it themselves. Interestingly, This mindset rarely stops at birthdays. People who downplay their own birthday tend to carry the same low-key philosophy into the rest of life. They don't chase the spotlight. They don't fish for compliments. They don't measure their worth by likes, follows, or how big their celebration was. Instead, they cultivate a steady, almost serene contentment. They've trained themselves to find meaning and joy in ordinary days, rather than waiting 365 days for permission to feel alive. Of course, they still get lonely, sometimes they're human. But they've built an inner compass. But doesn't rely on one annual event. 2 north. So here is the mirror moment. Whether you go all out with a blowout party or you let the day slip by unnoticed, your choice reveals something real about your inner world. For some, it's the echo of old pain. I learned early that hoping hurts, so I stopped. For others, it is a pure pragmatism. Life is already overflowing. I can't add one more thing. And for many, it is quiet maturity. I don't need the world to remind me. I am worth celebrating. I remind myself every day. None of these paths is inherently better or worse. They're just honest reflections of different life experiences. The deeper question isn't which group is right. It's which one are you in right now, and is that where you want to stay? Do you still crave the external fanfare to feel seen and loved? Or have you started to grow that small, steady flame inside that burns just fine without anyone else's permission? Birthdays aren't really about getting older. They're report cards on how we've learned or haven't learned to love and value ourselves. If reading this shifted something for you, if it made you look at your own birthday habits with fresh eyes, then you'll probably enjoy the other psychology topics we explore here. We dive into the stuff that actually explains you. Why we self-sabotage. How attachment styles shape our relationships. What real self-esteem looks like. Why motivation disappears. And so much more. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We keep going deeper into the kind of psychology that doesn't just sound smart. It actually changes how you see yourself and the people around you. And if you want to take it further, share your own birthday stories. Ask questions, swap mindset shifts, and grow alongside others who are doing the same inner work. Join our Discord community. It's a real place for real conversations. Link is in the description or pinned comment. See you there, and here for the next video.